What is up, guys? It's your boy Jake from Team Insanity, and today I'm going to be doing this video WillBallForSoup style. Go check out his channel. What I'm going to be doing is commenting over some of my unuploaded Living Legends 10 gameplay from Hell Survivors Paintball in Michigan. We didn't really get enough footage because it just didn't really turn out all too good. It was just kind of weird because the battle was pretty much in the same spot the entire weekend, so it just kind of looked boring and old in the same footage. So I have my boy WillBallForSoup over here, so go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yo, what's up, guys? It's Scott with WillBallForSoup. This footage is actually being recorded in my shitty apartment in Phoenix, Arizona. So I got Jake here, we're live, and we're gonna go through if you deserve a paintball sponsorship and all the intricacies of earning that sponsorship and who really deserves one. Being good at paintball isn't exactly the only reason why one deserves a sponsorship. You also have to be an ambassador for the brand.
I always say not every question is a dumb question, but when people message us or like people come up to me and ask, you know, how can I get a paintball sponsorship? And I was like, well, how do you get your team sponsored? Like, no, how do I get a sponsorship, me personally? And the answer is, I mean, you're not going to. You're not. You have to think about what you're going to be able to bring to the table to that company. Why is a company going to send you, you know, I mean, a lot of sponsorships, you don't necessarily get all free stuff, but you get stuff at, you know, very, very good discounts. So what are you going to offer that company where they're going to be able to send you stuff at a discounted rate to where they're going to make their money back? It doesn't make any sense for a company to just start sending you a bunch of gear and then lose a bunch of money on it. It absolutely makes zero sense in the world.
There is a sweet spot for teams who don't exactly have the high division street cred or the thousands and thousands of subscribers and viewers and followers. There's a sweet spot for people to earn that mid-tier sponsorship. And that's the type of sponsorship where the company is going to be making a significant amount of money off of you, but you're going to get matching gear, you're going to get matching loaders. That type of sponsorship is kind of like a bulk sale. And a lot of people are really proud to even have a company reach out and work with them at that level. But yeah, they're making money off you.
You know, your team is going to get sponsored. A lot of times you're out there, you're playing tournaments, you're playing every single weekend. You know, at the end of the day, you're going to be using that sponsorship because you're going to be needing an extra pair of knee pads, because guess what? You're going to be playing every single weekend now to be able to play that tournament, to go out there and rep your sponsorship all the time. You're going to be shooting that extra case of paint at your practice. You're going to need that extra practice jersey. So a lot of times, you know, I see a lot of teams think, oh, I'm so cool because we're sponsored, but you know, you're playing a triple the amount of paintball, but you're still spending a lot more money than just a normal individual or even some teams, because you're playing paintball in bulk. It's basically like shopping at Costco or Sam's Club. I mean, it's essentially the same exact thing. You get it at a cheaper rate, but you're going through your gear a lot faster because you're playing a lot more paintball. So when you buy a lot of things in bulk, a company can actually afford to send you out more gear. So that's what a lower, I mean, obviously the pros get a certain sponsorship level. You're most likely not going to ever see that unless if you play professional paintball. But you know, your D5, D4 team, you're not going to get, you know, a bunch of free $1,500 guns. It doesn't normally always happen that way.
Another type of paintball sponsorship comes from you translating your labor for your local field into free paint and free entry. When I was really young, I used to sweep the floors of my indoor paintball field and get all the paint off the field and put away all the bunkers. So for that labor, the field would give me a free case of paint and free entry the next time I came in. So one of the things that I recommend for younger players, like those people who can't really hold down a full-time job, ask your field, hey, do you guys need an extra set of hands breaking down the field? Do you need an extra guy to wipe down the staging area and pick up trash? Because if you do that labor for the field and you really put your heart into it, and you keep that field in pristine condition, there's a very good chance that the field owner would recognize your dedication and help you out with a free entry and a free case.
A lot of people have the wrong mindset walking into a sponsorship a lot of times. So what I mean by that is, you see professional athletes, whether it be football, soccer, even NASCAR racing, whatever it is, you just think that you're automatically going to get free stuff. And, that's not what's going to happen, because you're most likely, if you're watching this video, not a pro athlete. So you're not going to get, like I said earlier, a $1,500 gun for free. You're not going to see all these extra free deals coming along with it. A lot of people think, oh, yeah, this team is sponsored, so they're going to get all their gear for free. It's not a free ride. It's basically, like we said before, it's a bulk discount. So you have to sort of lower your expectations on the fact that you're not just going to be handed things because you're playing on a team and you all have matching jerseys. It just doesn't always work that way. If it was that easy, everyone in paintball would have a sponsorship. Every single person that had a matching jersey could just go out and, ask for a sponsorship from whoever, from Joe Schmo, and they would get all their stuff for free. But that's not really what a sponsorship that's not how it works.
Yo, Jake, I hate it when these 12-year-olds are like, yo, are those guys pro because they have matching stuff? They are definitely not pro. Pro paintball players are playing in the professional division in the NXL in America, or also the NXL in Europe. There are 20 pro teams who are legitimately pro. And you know what? You can look at it through another way. Not all of those teams are getting a 100% paid for free ride. I would say over half of the pro teams in America are putting forward out-of-pocket costs to fly to these events, to cover their massive paint bills. Honestly, you can think, okay, Impact, Dynasty, Ironman, the big factory teams, those guys are true professionals. Houston Heat. These guys are making a living playing paintball. But a lot of the other pro teams are just putting forward cash out of pocket. So you can look to being a pro as, yes, you're competing in the professional division, but also another element of it is paintball fully paid for, and are you actually making money playing paintball? And those people who meet that criteria are a lot fewer than what people expect.
The one thing that you're definitely going to want to do is you're going to want to build up your resume. At the end of the day, if you've only played one event, at a local field where you've only, played one or two other teams that you've practiced up against all the time, a lot of companies aren't going to want to sponsor that. So you're going to want to be able to go and play at the highest level possible at every event that you possibly can. Granted, playing local paintball is great, but when you're out there playing at one or two tournaments a year, why do you deserve that sponsorship over those other teams that are out there grinding, playing at national events, and playing at high-level calibers, and playing these big teams that are a lot more competitive, and they're, paintball sponsorships are big branding. You're wearing a name. If you're out there repping GI Sports, Falcon Paintball, or whoever, you're out there with their logo. You're out there with their name on your jersey. What are you going to offer by playing one or two tournaments a year at your local paintball field? Granted, I'm all about playing local paintball. It's great, but what are you going to be able to bring to the table to be able to help that company with your sponsorship?
Paintball companies want to see longevity. If you're a team that just formed, don't expect the world. But if you've been grinding at that D3, D2, D1 level for a couple of seasons, then companies are going to be willing to work with you. And again, local events are nice, but these big national events are where the main sponsorship comes from. So if you're out here on the West Coast, play the WCPPL. If you're traveling, play the NXL. These national events give more exposure for your sponsors, and they're more than willing to give you a couple free cases or the paint coupons, or maybe an even bigger cut on your jerseys, pants, and masks. You want to have a national appeal, and if you're on that local level and you're in that lower divisional level, and if you haven't put in the work, don't expect the rewards.
The one thing that you definitely want to do if you're looking for a sponsorship and you're playing at high levels of paintball all the time is, you don't want to be that guy that goes out at the paintball field and you're out there on your home field being that practice warrior. And what I mean by that is we all know those guys that go out there on the field and they're really, really good in practice because they can go out there, they can wipe their hits, and they get away with some sleazy stuff when the refs aren't out there. But come tournament time and there's actual people watching them, they have to play honestly and they actually have to play real paintball, they go out there and they kind of suck. And we all know those kind of guys, and I personally know a few teams that I can name off of hand that can kind of do that. And that's not something that you want to do. You don't want to go out there and give yourself and give your team a bad image out on your home field. You want to give yourself an honest reputation. You don't want to be the practice warriors that go out there and just try to beat up on everyone and prove absolutely nothing to no one out on the practice field. You want to be able to go out there, have an honest, fun day of paintball, make as much friends as possible, because at the end of the day, yes, we are a big community that looks after each other. And at the end of the day, you just want to remember that you're out there to help take care of your local field. You're out there to take care of the company that's sponsoring you, and you don't want to give that company a bad reputation.
It's a good idea to designate one field as your home field and base all your practices at that one field. Approach your field owner and say, hey, we have 2 teams with 8 players on each team. Every single weekend, we're gonna have 16 guys at your field. Can you work with us? Can you give us a price break on entry? Can you give us a bulk paint rate? And that's a very approachable way to get a sponsorship, because the field is getting the business, the field will have people playing there, and you're gonna get a bulk discount. When I ran a field, we did not have a single team to call my field home, and that honestly broke my heart. I wanted to see my field succeed so much, but yet I really didn't have the authority to reach out and say, you guys are going to be my home team. And what happened was we'd get a group of 4 or 5, and they'd see our speedball field, which was in immaculate condition, be completely empty, and they'd get right in their car and they'd drive away. So field owners do want people playing there. So if you can negotiate a bulk discount, you may be deserving of a sponsorship.
All in all, guys, what I want everyone to take away from this is that at the end of the day is that a lot of people go into sponsorships thinking the wrong thing. If you go out and you only play one tournament a year, or you just go out and you practice and you play some rec ball, you're probably most likely not qualified for a sponsorship. You're playing paintball for a hobby. You're playing paintball for fun. You're not playing at that top competing level. If you're out there grinding it out every single weekend, and you're out there playing against other teams and you're actually trying to get better and move up in the ranks, those are the type of people that actual companies and fields are going to look at for a sponsorship. You have to be able to bring something to the table to have those fields or have those companies make their money back on those discounts that they're going to give you. Plus, like I said earlier, you're an advertisement for them. So at the end of the day, you want to be able to offer something in exchange for what they're going to be giving you. And if you're going out there and not playing at a high level of competition, and if you're going out and playing at several different fields every single month and you don't have a home field, you're most likely not going to get any sort of sponsorship or any sort of break. You have to set a home field. You have to have a set resume and be able to go out there and show this is what you're doing in the paintball community, and this is why you deserve a sponsorship.